The late Honorable Alhaji Aliu Omokide was born on the 29th of December 1933 in his native ancestral village of Igara, Akokowedo local government, Edo State. His birth coincided with his parents' adoption of the Islamic faith, hence the choice of the name Aliu. As converts, Alhaji Aliu Omokide's parents committed themselves to the worship of Allah, and they taught the same to their children, including Alhaji Aliu Omokide, who was enrolled alongside his brother at a Quranic school as a young child to study the Holy Quran and strengthen his understanding of the faith. He studied there for 6 years before joining the St. Mary's Catholic School, now rebranded Utwa Primary School in Igara, for his primary school education. As a young primary school pupil, Alhaji Aliu Omokide was already well versed in the Holy Quran, and early observers attested to his impeccable character, obedience, cautious behavior, distinct principles, courage, and complete dedication to matters of the faith and morality despite his young age. He completed his primary school education at the Central School in Lampese, Ibilio, where he had his Standard 6 education, as was the tradition at the time. Thereafter, he attended the Provincial Teachers College in Agbede, the Government Teachers College in Elisha, and the prestigious University of Lagos. Famed in the academic circle as a university of first choice, giving the top-tier education on offer at the institution, particularly at the time, Alhaji Aliu Omokide secured admission to study there, obtaining a diploma. During his time at the Government Teachers College in Elisha, a town in present Osun State, which Alhaji Aliu Omokide traveled to without knowing anyone, but driven principally by a quest for knowledge and increased formal training and expertise, he began to deeply interact with the Yorubas in the community, ultimately gaining exposure to and develop a great admiration and respect for the political philosophy of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a foremost Yoruba leader who championed the growth of education and other state-sponsored developmental efforts that remain relevant until this day. Chief Bamidele Olumilua, who also served as governor of Osun State in the Nigerian's Third Republic, was one of Alhaji Aliu Omokide's classmates at the Government Teachers College in Elisha at the time, with many others also going on to do great exploits in both public and private sector. And now to his teaching career. Upon the completion of his studies and having acquired full qualification as a teacher and educationist, he committed himself to the noble goal of helping others, especially underprivileged children, gain access to formal education and self-empowerment, to acquire needed tools to navigate the world, improve their social conditions alongside their household, and better protect their rights against abuse and intimidation, particularly in the case of the girl child. He built a successful career in the field, first as an elementary teacher, an obligation that took him again to Auchi, where he tutored and molded several pupils who went on to do great things. One of them was Zakari Hussein, whose formal and Islamic education, built on the foundation of Alhaji Aliu Omokide's teaching and guidance, culminated in a doctorate degree, the zenith of certifications in Islamic religious knowledge, earning him a lecturing role at the University of Ilorin, where he retired as a senior lecturer, after which he emerged as the chief imam of Auchi. Other notable pupils of Alhaji Aliu Omokide includes the late Brigadier General Suleimani Akini, who retired from a stellar service in the Nigerian Army as Chief Imam and was the Army Aji for Pilgrims of Nigeria at some point. From elementary teacher, Alhaji Aliu Omokide's high intellect and diligence saw him rise quickly to the much desired position as headmaster, before yet another advancement as the Zonal Inspector of Education in the Igara Education Board. He served as a teacher, headmaster, and finally the Inspector of Education, leaving his trail landmark teaching of modern mathematics in primary schools for the first time. And now, to his marital life. Alhaji Aliu Omokide met and married Hajja Kadara Aminat Omokide Ni Shafe while serving as a teacher at the Muslim school in Igara in 1961, and shortly after that, he also married Awawu Olayemi Omokide Ni Nasiru. Interestingly, both of his wives were his pupils at some point, and he went on to enjoy a successful and fruitful family blessed with children with them as permitted by the Islamic faith. Entering into politics of the life of Alhaji Aliu Omokide. In all the years of the study and across the different institutions, Alhaji Aliu Omokide maintained an esteemed reputation as a brilliant and highly disciplined student who excelled at his studies and consistently displayed signs of great leadership, with his rare ability to rally a group and lead it successfully towards the attainment of a set goal. Creative problem-solving skill. Altruism, a great sense of duty and responsibility, and a knack for taking on big tasks even when easier ones were available. He was the ideal 360 student who was not only excellent at his studies but also aware and alive to his responsibilities to the institution and the society at large. This led some of his teachers and others who encountered him at the time to make the prediction that became prophecy that he would eventually foreplay into politics and emerge as the leader of the people. Specifically in 1962, one of his tutors at the Government Teachers College in Ilaisha remarked that he would nurture a successful career in politics. In fact, a couple of years back in 1952, the Otaru of Igara at the time made the same proclamation, having watched Alhaji Aliu Omokide at a close distance for many years and witnessed firsthand his passion and thirst for knowledge, principled morality, high sense of justice, uncommon intelligence, continuous pursuit of societal growth and development, and great skills aided by a friendly persona that made him the friend of all. Exactly 2 decades after the prophecy of the then Otaru, Alhaji Aliu Omokide was elected to the Bendel State House of Assembly on the platform for the Awolowo-led Unity Party of Nigeria, where he served meritoriously and with unprecedented success from 1979 to 1983 in the government of the late Professor Ambrose Ali. He emerged as a lawmaker in the now defunct Bendel State, was predicted on the aforesaid qualities which distinguished Alhaji Aliu Omokide as one who could be entrusted with the people's interest and public resources. He did not disappoint. His quality of service as a lawmaker has been widely praised as the gold standard for representatives not only Igara, Akoko-Edo and Edo states, but also across the South-South region of the country. Public service record and achievements. As a devout Muslim, highly principled and conscientious person, Alhaji Aliu Omokide took his duties as a public servant with utmost seriousness and sensitivity for that what was at stake. Hence, his tenure in public office held was characterized by rare honesty and accountability and vast investments in the people through the provision of critical infrastructure, including roads, water, and electricity. As an elected lawmaker, he facilitated several road constructions that improved the standard of living in his primary constituency by opening up communities for development, providing easy access to markets, especially for the farming population, and productive engagement for indigenous youths who not only applied their existing skills but gained additional skills through their participation in the project and improved their proficiency. He also ensured a steady supply of potable water, an achievement that had a profound effect on health and agriculture given the status of water as the harbinger of life. This was in addition to the stable electricity he was responsible for, causing instant growth in the business community, attracting industrial investors, strengthening security, and improving life and educational outcomes. Alhaji Omokide Aliu also ensured the construction and equipping of several health centers to improve healthcare, prevent avoidable deaths from curable illnesses, and ensuring the general well-being of his constituency to improve productivity, quality of life, and level of satisfaction. He pursued vigorously the cardinal programs of the UPN, which was anchored solidly on an aggressive rural development agenda designed to eradicate household poverty and empower the grassroots population. He proved himself the formidable ally of the governor, Professor Ambrose Lee, and played an important role on the administration's success in delivering on its promise to the people, with lasting achievements including the establishment of the Bendel State University, Ekboma, which was later renamed Ambrose Lee University, Okpila Cement Factory, Bendel Breweries Limited, Bendel Fields and Flour Mills, Ewu, among others. In fact, when at some points other members of the assembly, though elected on the platform of the UPN2, tried to impeach Professor Ambrose Lee as governor, Alhaji Aliu Omokide opposed the move and helped the governor Ali to beat the back move. His lifetime, Alhaji Aliu Omokide was especially proud of his role during this given period that eventually got all his achievements of the Ali administration, which continues to serve as a reference point for good governance in all the states that make the now defunct Bender State across Nigeria. Alhaji Aliu Omokide also advocated and worked hard to ensure the bill for the establishment of the Institute of Industrial Technology, although this did not quite materialize before the termination of the Second Republic by military overthrow. He was praised for his foresight, rigorous policy work, and deep understanding of the workings of governance, particularly in sparking widespread economic growth, eradicating poverty, and enabling people to live meaningful lives and attain self-fulfillment. In the House of Assembly, Alhaji Aliu Omokide was respected across the board for his erudition, personal integrity, and commitment to public service. He was a unanimous choice for the chairman of business of the House for 4 years, a choice informed by his exceptional understanding of the economy and uprightness to negotiate deals in the interest of the public and the greater good without advancing self or giving undue consideration to self-serving interests. Now to his service in the Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board. Although politics had proved such a strong pull that many who venture into it eventually lost their bearing and drift further away from service to God and spiritual foresightness. However, in this regard, Alhaji Aliu Omokide also set himself apart as a great exception. In and out of politics, he never lost his sight of the larger ultimate goal of pleasing God and keeping fidelity to his word. Hence, his commendable dedication to Islam, its practice and progress in those states and across Nigeria. He got the rare honor to serve on the Pilgrim Welfare Board as a member for 4 years, during which he mentioned and made the holy trip to Mecca and Medina on 7 occasions. The board was chaired by the late Justice Kensington Momo, and together with Alhaji Aliu Omokide, as well as other board members, they facilitated the smooth planning and execution of the yearly pilgrimage for Muslims in the now defunct Bendel State, with a high level of organization that drew praises from many quarters and earned the respect and admiration of many. He also traveled to London, United Kingdom on 2 separate occasions for Islamic missions as an emissary of faith. He held the position as the Secretary of the Bendel Council for Islamic Affairs in the now defunct Bendel State for 7 years and was widely credited as an ambassador of the Islamic faith and exemplary figure for other Muslims. With his influence, the teaching of Arabic in primary schools was greatly improved on by the state government. role as a unifier and brigade builder. Igara's traditional makeup of different tribes and cultures can oftentimes result in charged and divisive disputes and contentions that manifest in varying acts of segregation. However, from his days as a youth leader of thought until his death at the age of 87, Alhaji Aliu Omokide served as a bridge builder who went to great lengths to heal the divides among the people and unify them, as he believed that only with unity and peace can everyone fulfill their potential and achieve greatness. Together with others, he rallied himself. Alhaji Aliu Omokide devised and pursued various methods and mechanisms for amicable resolutions of disputes and promotion of peace and social justice of all people in Igara. He contributed to the maintenance of the cultural heritage of the Eshimosoko to freely own and beat the sacred Arigede drum, and never once dismissed or looked on any group or culture with disdain or disrespect. He consistently preached the values of mutual respect and tolerance as the key to peaceful communal living and coexistence. Honorable Aliu Omokide also applied his skills in the service of the local government, the tie of the government closest with the people, and true to his mandate in those days. He served in several committees of local governments, including education, peace and security, national orientation agencies, and numerous others. His achievements and excellence earned him awards from several notable and reputable institutions, associations, and clubs. Some of them include JP, Justice of Peace by Edo State Government, Etuno Nationals Union Lagos Branch in 1997, National Association of Etuno Igara Students University of Benin UBTA Chapters, Etuno Architects Award in 2006, Etuno Youth Association, Igara Development Association, Igara Etuno Indigenous Worldwide, Igara Born Again Christian Association, and the Etuno Ambassadors Club, Abuja. Alhaji Aliu Omokide went to meet his Lord on Friday, the 26th of February 2001, at the age of 87, after a life of wonderful achievements that uplifted many, directly transformed his immediate constituency, inspired widespread positive political changes, contributed to the growth of Islam, and molded many lives who went on to fulfill destiny and bring about unique innovations that sped the pace of development and spread of prosperity. He is survived by wives, children, in-laws, and grandchildren.